What's up, cats? Chase from Round 1, Roblox Gamer, back with another banger. Today, you guys, I'm going to be reacting to You versus John Wick by the Infographic Show. For those of you who are wondering, why does Cheetah sound weird? Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning where I am, so I just woke up at 4:59, and I just thought maybe I should make a YouTube video before I go to school. I should have enough time to make this video since my mother is, take a shower, getting dressed and take a shower, getting ready to take me to school. But anyway, you guys, yeah. Without further ado, let's get started. Oh, before I start this, that was really cringy. Not gonna lie. What I said, that was...
So far in our You versus shows, we've pitted you against some very tough opposition. From superheroes to predatory aliens to the living dead. We haven't really given you much of a chance, seeing as these characters seem to rub people out with ease and have proved themselves to be close to indestructible. So you might welcome today's show, in which we will give you perhaps an easier fight. John Wick is no pushover, but this time, we fancy your chances. So who's John Wick? We imagine most of you have seen the movies, but just in case you haven't, we'll give you a quick rundown.
I have
Mr.
not.
Wick was a hitman, but he decided to hang up his gloves, or should we say gun, when he fell in love with a woman. His story is kind of a biblical tale, in that he's a man that has done very bad things, but decides to turn over a new leaf. John's life takes a turn for the worse when his wife dies from a terminal illness. And then to make matters worse, the dog he had received to help him get over the loss of his wife is killed by some rather unethical characters. Now we have a tale of revenge and retribution. John goes on a killing spree, and he kicks a lot of behinds. In the next movie, he's more entrenched in this underworld of vicious killers, but anyone who comes up against John is hardly a match. He kills henchmen like you eat Skittles. He takes out assassins with as much ease as you take out the trash. And he deals with assassins, well, he deals with them, but not without incurring a few cuts and bruises. At the end of part 2, there's a global contract out on him. But John's way of looking at things is whoever tries to take him out will end up being taken out themselves. We, his supporters, believe him. Part 3 isn't out yet, but we're told the underscoring theme will align with a famous Roman military adage which goes...
You guys, let me know in the comments if you've seen John Wick. I have not, but it probably will be an interesting movie.
If you want peace, prepare for war. We're told he will also have a hit woman helping him out, but we don't expect you to have to fight her too. As we write, the film is still a month or two from coming out, so you get off easy. So how would you succeed where some of the world's most dangerous assassins have failed? John Wick is basically hunted down by the most skilled killers on planet Earth, and he keeps winning. We don't mean to undermine the fact that you have a black belt in karate, and after watching MMA took 4 jiu-jitsu lessons. We know some of you creatine drinkers and steroid abusers are twice the size of John Wick, and that he's not exactly a spring chicken. But could you kill a man that it seems just cannot die? If we look at what we might call his powers and strengths, we should first say that John Wick seems to have nothing to lose. He tried to make things right in his life, and life just kicked him in the face. Consider that you probably do have a lot to lose, and John Wick already has an advantage over you. He is fearless, and this existential crisis he's been going through makes him dangerous. Most of you likely cry over spilled milk, so let's just say in a battle of wills, you lose. In terms of physical skills relating to you getting your head pulverized by John Wick, we should tell you that John was a Marine before he became a contract killer. It's in the Marines where he learned some of his skills that would serve him well when he joined the world of criminals. He soon got the name the Boogeyman because of his remarkable talents to make people disappear. His acumen for easily dispensing of people caught the eye of gangsters, with Russian mobster Vigo Tarasov being particularly impressed with the way John killed 3 men with nothing but a pencil.
For real? Yeah, I'm actually impressed. I really am. Type hashtag Uh, hold up. Oh yeah, type hashtag I'm impressed in the comments. Type hashtag I'm impressed.
We might warn you here not to fight John Wick in a stationary store. What else are you up against, besides a guy that can send you to eternity with a Stedler HB? Well, he has incredible reflexes. He's not only good at handing out beatings, but he's also very hard to hit. On top of that, he's extremely clever at understanding what's happening around him. His situational awareness is almost superhuman, but not quite. Here's an example of his quick thinking as pointed out on his fandom page. Marcus shoots John Wick's pillow in order to alert him to a threat. It takes him only 1.2 seconds to understand the shot's purpose, correctly assess the situation, and react effectively. Could you do that? Not likely. He has an amazing tolerance for pain. While most of us might feel sorry for ourselves when we get bashed on the end of our nose or step on a piece of Lego, John Wick can take a thorough beating and seem not to care at all. He even purposely let someone stab him, just because that he knew that if he did that, he could win the fight. Let's just say that if our fight with Mr. Wick became a war of attrition, he would no doubt last longer. The fact is, unless you have his head in a vice, it is unlikely that he will submit to you. At the same time, if your fight is up close, remember that Mr. Wick is very skilled at Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Krav Maga. It's likely that he'll have no problem dispatching the mouthy Irish fighter Conor McGregor, and would likely make easy work of anyone at your local gym. The fact is, we don't think any of you would beat him in a hand-to-hand scrap, so just don't go there. So we might think about weapons. We might remind you though that John Wick has extensive weapons training, and as part of the underworld he can get his hands on all sorts of powerful guns you might not be able to find. Okay, so if you're an American, getting your hands on a gun might be as difficult as buying ice cream, but we doubt you can come up with an arsenal to match John Wick's. On top of that, he's a master marksman, and most of you have only mastered marksmanship in the virtual world. If he finds out you're out to get him, expect to be on your guard at all times. What else? Well, he's a master tactician, but he's also very hard to find. He can get in and out of places easily, so if he's after you, don't think a security guard in your building or a double lock on the door will be much good. He also knows a lot of people in the underworld, and they might help him out. At the same time, he's fluent in English, Russian, Italian, Hebrew, as well as sign language, so finding information for him is easier than it is for you. If he comes after you in a car, he will catch you. John Wick is an expert driver. Okay, so now the task is starting to sound a bit overwhelming, and you're thinking that you'll leave this job to someone else.
I do not drive,
collecting the bounty for Mr. Wick is more hassle than it's worth. But we must now tell you how you might win this fight. Maybe it's not as hard as you think. John's main weakness is the fact that he's just too human. All too human. He's angry. You could even say he is the very personification of wrath. You might take advantage of this. Make him even more angry. Make that rage of his spill over so he makes mistakes. We suggest you might do this by invoking his dead wife. Perhaps do something as nasty as desecrating her grave. Hey, we know it's pretty awful, but don't shoot the messenger. We're just trying to help you win. If he's seething, he will come out, expose himself, and as we said, you'll not beat this man hand to hand. It's gotta be done
Yep,
from
that's
a safe
me.
distance.
That is me.
We know he got beat up by 3 men in that first movie, but we honestly don't think you should attempt this kind of thing. Your approach is more subtle. So you've desecrated his wife's grave. What you know about John Wick is the fact that he'll return to that grave. In the best of worlds, you'll have an armed military drone. But according to British media, while the US does not export these things, the UK bought 10 Reaper and Predator drones from the US. They're not exactly easy to get your hands on. The US says that you'll have to make a good case for buying one of these drones, and they can certainly not be used for unlawful force against domestic populations. You can buy sniper rifles though, and we found a few places where that can be done. Business Insider even has an article titled, "Yes, you can buy a 50 caliber sniper rifle online." In that article we can read, you have to pass that background check, you know, no convictions for crazy or criminal acts. Aside from that, it only comes down to the rifle being legal in the state you're planning to keep it, and legal in the state you bought it. So this is how you take out John Wick from a distance with a rifle. You've brought him out to the open by exploiting his rage, and you know for a fact that one place he goes is his wife's grave. He's out in the open, and there's little to no security where his dear lost love lives.
Oh,
You have
John,
told no
I'm
one
sorry,
about your task,
dude.
because you're aware he knows everyone who inhabits the underground. It's just you and him. prior to your date with him, you've practiced with that rifle to the extent that you can hit an apple from 200 meters. You've also bought a laser rangefinder to make the job easier. Reading about sniper rifles, we hear that a good marksman should have no problem hitting a human shape from 800 meters. So let's just say that you wait for John around 300 to 500 meters away. We don't know what kind of gun you have, but the US military says some weapons have a maximum effective range of up to 2,300 meters. You should be safe
That's
at
really
your 300
cool.
to 500 meters. You just better hope for the right conditions, and if you don't get them, you might want to wait and try again another day. The reason, of course, is because we believe that if you miss John, you won't get another shot. He will find you, and he will kill you. This is just one way to beat John Wick, but we're sure you can come up with many more. Also, be sure to check out our other show, You vs. Thanos. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.
Yep, you heard the man. So, like the video, subscribe, and press the notification bell. Yeah, show the infographic. Show some support. Anyway, how long have I been recording? I don't know how long I've been recording. Oh well. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video, and yeah. Thanks for watching, and yeah. See you.